Welcome in the magical world of chess and games, with the logic and beauty all of its own. I am Grandmaster Dr. Karsten Mueller from Hamburg, Germany, and I'll lead you on a guided tour through this jungle. I promise you that from studying the endgames, not only your endgames will profit, but your chess in general. Because you will be more acquainted with the special features of each piece. As in endgames, there are so few pieces that the possibilities of each of them has to be used to the maximum. And you will learn about the special geometry of the board for the kings or for the knight, how to avoid knight forks, how long the knight needs from a certain square to another one, that it changes its color every time it moves, and so on and so on. So not only your endgames will profit from studying them. This is the first in a series of DVDs, and I'll of course start with the mating procedures. Two lone knights cannot deliver mate, in case you've wondered why this is not covered on the CD, as there are too many stalemate defenses from the defending kings near the corner. And the knight can't lose the tempo, as you will see in the chapter on knight and games. And the famous mate with bishop and knight with the lone king. It's a good example why it also helps in the endgame to have some theoretical knowledge of the motives, ideas and concepts. As if you haven't dealt with this before, you will certainly not be able to mate with knight and bishop within the 50 move rule over the board under the pressure of a practical game. But if you've studied this mating procedure, then you will doubtlessly manage to make it, as you remember the well-known famous W maneuver and other ideas and concepts that will be very helpful in this endgame. This may serve as an example why it is very helpful to know certain endgame principles and endgame positions. After the mating procedures, I'll deal with fundamentals of pawn endgames like Zugzwang, opposition, triangulation, exchanging one wing, and so on. And then I'll deal with the minor piece endgames. First, the minor piece versus pawns, and then the minor pieces against each other. And last but not least, I have decided also to include the endgame queen versus pawns on this DVD. It is usually part from a material point of view. It is of course part of the next DVD, but as it most often arises from pawn endgames, I have decided to add it also as an extra on this DVD for your convenience. Of course, in the very short time of such a DVD, I can only deal with the absolute fundamentals. I cannot give many examples, I cannot give many details. So I strongly advise you to also study the rich endgame literature of the game. For example, Frank Lamprecht and mine Fundamental Chess Endings, Gambit 2001. Or if you feel already a bit comfortable in this endgame jungle, you can also study Mark Dvoretsky's brilliant masterwork, Mark Dvoretsky's Endgame Manual, which appeared for Russell Enterprises. Mark really did an outstanding job here, dealing with the concepts, ideas and motives of an endgame, always giving exercises and very instructive, well-chosen examples. So if you study this and are able to master these examples, then your endgames are fine, and I'm sure that your practical strengths and your results will also increase and become a lot better. So I wish you now a lot of fun into this magical world with the beauty and logic all of its own. Enjoy, lean back and have fun.